The hidden traps. Waiting. When you enter your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and how to avoid them. There's a silent danger waiting for millions of people as they step into their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and most don't see it until it's too late. These years are supposed to be your time of stability, security, and freedom. But for many, they become the decades of regret. The time when you realize the small decisions you made, or didn't make, have now compounded into something impossible to ignore. See, life in your 20s and 30s feels like a sprint. You're chasing opportunities, building your career, maybe raising a family, trying to make everything fit. But when you hit your 40s, something changes. You start looking back and asking questions. Where did the time go? Why am I still not where I thought I'd be? The hidden trap is comfort disguised as progress. You settle into routines, stable jobs, predictable paychecks, and without realizing it, you stop growing. You start protecting what you have instead of building what's next. But the truth is, if you're not growing in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you're declining, not in age but in relevance, energy, and wealth. And then there's the illusion of time. You think you still have decades ahead to fix things, to save more, invest smarter, or finally start that business you've always dreamed of. But every year that passes, the runway gets shorter. Compound growth works both ways. If you don't start now, you lose time that no amount of money can ever buy back. Another silent trap is financial stagnation. Many people in midlife think stability equals success. But in today's economy, stability can be an illusion. Prices rise, industries shift, and jobs vanish overnight. The same paycheck that once felt comfortable now barely covers the basics, yet people cling to familiarity instead of pivoting to opportunity. And perhaps the most dangerous trap of all, emotional resignation. That quiet voice that says, "It's too late for me. My best years are behind me." But here's the truth. The people who build the second half of their lives with purpose, wealth, and freedom aren't younger, they're just more intentional. Because age doesn't close doors, it reveals which ones you should have walked through sooner. But it's not over. In fact, if you act now, these can be the most powerful, liberating decades of your life. Stay with me, because in the next section, we'll break down the exact traps most people fall into, and more importantly, how to recognize and escape them before they lock you into financial, emotional, and physical decline. Subscribe now if you're serious about taking control of your next chapter. The best years of your life don't happen by accident, they happen by design. The midlife money, career, and mindset. Traps you must avoid. By the time you reach your 40s, 50s, and 60s, life starts testing what you've built, not what you plan to build. This is when the cracks begin to show in your finances, your health, and even your mindset. These are the years when some people quietly start slipping backward, while others break through and finally rise. The difference comes down to awareness, knowing the traps before they pull you in. The first major trap, the comfort income illusion. You've got a stable paycheck, maybe even some savings, or a 401k, and you assume that's enough. But inflation, taxes, and lifestyle creep silently erode your buying power every single year. That $70,000 salary that once felt great, it's losing value every day you don't multiply it. Wealthy people in their 40s don't just earn, they grow. They build assets that generate cash flow because they know one day their energy won't. The second trap is career complacency. This is when you stop learning new skills because you think experience alone will protect you. But in today's world, experience ages fast. Technology moves faster than tenure, and one industry shift can make 20 years of experience suddenly irrelevant. If you're not adapting, you're decaying. Reinvesting in yourself, through skills, networking, or even side ventures, isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Next comes the lifestyle debt spiral. At this stage, many people feel pressure to look successful. A new car, a bigger home, fancy vacations, private schools. But too often those success signals come with debt chains. The rich buy assets first, luxuries later. The poor buy luxuries first and never escape the payments. If you're paying for things that lose value instead of creating things that earn value, you're walking straight into financial quicksand. Then there's the health trap. It's not just about money. Your body starts to demand the discipline you ignored in your 30s. Sleep, exercise, and diet become non-negotiable. Poor health in your 50s can wipe out decades of wealth. You can't earn, lead, or enjoy life if you're constantly exhausted or ill. The richest investment in your 40s and 50s is energy, because without it, nothing else compounds. And let's not forget the regret trap. This one creeps in silently. You start saying things like, "I wish I started earlier," or "It's too late for me." Those words are poison. They paralyze you from acting today. But here's the truth. The second best time to start is always now. Every successful reinvention story you've ever heard, from business owners to millionaires, began after they realized waiting was costing them more than starting. Finally, there's the emotional isolation trap. As responsibilities grow, many people stop surrounding themselves with ambitious, inspiring peers. They settle into circles that normalize mediocrity, but your environment shapes your future. If you're surrounded by people who stopped growing, you'll start shrinking without noticing. The good news? Every one of these traps has an escape hatch, but it requires courage. The courage to face where you are honestly and pivot intentionally. Stay with me, because in the final section, I'll show you how to reset your mindset, rebuild your plan, and reinvent your future, no matter your age. The Reinvention Blueprint: How to Escape the Traps and Build Freedom. After 40. Here's the truth no one tells you. Your 40s, 50s, and 60s aren't the beginning of the end. They're the perfect years for reinvention. Because now, you have something your younger self didn't: perspective. You've made mistakes, learned lessons, and gathered wisdom. And when that experience meets strategy and courage, something powerful happens. Your second half becomes your best half. So, how do you escape the traps and design a future that truly works for you? Step 1. Rebuild your mindset. The first thing you must kill is the belief that it's too late. It's not. What's too late is staying stuck. Decide that from this point forward, every decision serves your freedom, not your fears. Shift from a consumer mindset to a creator mindset. Ask yourself daily, how can I make money work for me? Because when your mindset changes, your habits follow. Step 2. Audit your finances ruthlessly. List every debt, every expense, every subscription, and every leak in your budget. Most people in midlife don't need more income, they need less waste. Redirect what you recover toward investments that build passive income, dividend stocks, real estate, or online assets. It doesn't matter how small you start. Consistency beats intensity when time is your most valuable currency. Step 3. Reinvent your career. The economy rewards adaptability, not age. Learn something new every 90 days. AI, online business, consulting, digital marketing, whatever gives you leverage. You already have decades of experience. Now combine it with modern skills. That's how you stay relevant and valuable long after others burn out. Step 4. Prioritize health and relationships. Your wealth means nothing if you don't have the energy to enjoy it or the people to share it with. Walk daily, eat consciously, rest properly, and spend time with those who make you feel alive. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, mentors, dreamers, builders. Remember, isolation ages the soul faster than time. Step 5. Build your exit plan. Whether it's early retirement, financial independence, or simply having the freedom to choose, set a vision. Calculate your freedom number, the amount of money or assets you need to live comfortably without relying on a paycheck. Then reverse engineer your way there. The earlier you define it, the faster it becomes real. And above all, remember, you are not behind. You are only behind if you stop now. The next 10 to 20 years can become your most impactful, profitable, and meaningful chapter if you choose to act. Every smart decision you make today multiplies your freedom tomorrow. You don't need to start over, you just need to start differently. That's how reinvention works. You're not erasing your past, you're repurposing it for a stronger, wiser, freer future. So don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The moment is now. The traps are real, but so is your power to rise above them. If this message hit home, hit subscribe right now. Every week we uncover the strategies, mindsets, and financial truths that help you build freedom no matter your age. Your 40s, 50s, and 60s aren't the end, they're your second beginning. Don't survive these years, own them.